What's up guys, it's Andrew at Motorcycles Off-Road, and well, this is not the intended video I wanted to put out today. In fact, I haven't put out a video in 2 weeks because I've been working on the XT250 versus the 300L comparison video. And that video has been taking a long time to get footage, to do editing, etc. It's only halfway done, let's say. But I wanted to put something out here and not go another week without a video, so this is a ride that I did with my daughter out in the Pine Barrens and her riding her XT250 for the first time in some deep sand. In this video I talk about tires and other upgrades and stuff like that as we're riding, and also the whole goal of this actual ride is for us to look for a campsite that's hidden in the woods, and usually you can't go there by any means besides hiking. So I think we can find it. I'm looking for it, and just ride with us, check out the awesome views. We see some critters like snakes, etc. And it's overall just a good experience with father and daughter out there just spending time together. So hope you enjoy, and by next week we will have that comparison of the CRF 300L versus the XT250, and I think that's going to be a really entertaining video for a lot of people in my audience. So here you go. Some sugar sand to knock out of the way first. My daughter's first real ride with the XT. I think she's doing pretty good. Let's take a look. Oh, she's still back there. Man, this bike has so much low end torque. Anyway, I just wanted to make a little video. I don't want to leave her too far behind, but this bike is super capable. Once you get over the weight factor, and it's a little bit of a low ground clearance, which you can hit the foot pegs on stuff when you go into ruts. But beyond that, there's a lot you can do with this motorcycle. It's very versatile. Turning it into my adventure build. You always got to be careful out here because, like, see this? If I was to go headstrong into that, we don't know how deep that is. Sometimes Jeeps rut those out. Old train tracks they used to use to travel materials, they would pull them out of the lakes around here and then use furnaces to smelt them. And this bike is pretty surprising to me because it's got a good fair amount of upgrades, including the suspension. One of my viewers pointed out in the mods video that the shock was different than stock, and it absolutely is. I haven't been on a stock one of these bikes, but I can tell that the suspension is not the soft suspension that everybody complained about. This bike is actually doing fairly well. Get up here a little bit and make sure Alexis is still trucking. Let's take a look. She had the Senna, but the battery ran out, so I don't want to get too far ahead. Yeah, most people are afraid to ride sand. She's doing it pretty good. As you can see, this is pretty sugary down here. And yeah, I'm still running that Pirelli MT21 up front and the Ranger K60. And I'll tell you what, I like this combination of tire. It's not super aggressive as far as the rear, but it seems to have good traction everywhere. It seems to be good on the road. You know, I've never really said that about a tire. There's no tire that I think is great everywhere, and this one's pretty good everywhere. I would say it's not as good off-road as something like a DR650 or Michelin Starcross like 5 medium, something like that. The AC10, which was the old Michelin, is not as aggressive or as good as something like that, or like a Trackmaster. But where it excels is it's probably like 70% as good as that, but also far better on the road. I always have to stop at sections so she knows we're going to be on Mine Spring Road. Yeah, that's right. All the OHV out here. There's where the train track ends. says don't go that way. Oh, that's a hiking trail, that's why. It's not even on my map. We try to stick to the roads for the most part, so we're completely legal. And we have 2 completely legal motorcycles. Now, obviously, if I was into dirt bikes or something, I would get like an XR400 or something crazy like that and just rip this place apart. But, here she comes. But I'm into dual sports. And they do fairly well out here. And as this goes, an adventure bike. Man, this bike sounds so good. So the exhaust on it, from a little bit of research, it is a 40-mile model exhaust, which I guess is the most sought after version of GSXR exhaust that people put on these bikes. So like I said, everything was done pretty well on this motorcycle. Now of course I've done some upgrades now. We got their bars, the thicker hand guards, I took off the mirrors, I put a fuel container on the rear. So I'm making it mine little by little, but I'm so glad it was taken care of. Whoa! Sorry, guy. Look at that snake. There was a snake and a toad.
I saw a snake.
I just barely missed his tail. I was like, ugh. I felt like I didn't want to hit him, you know? I don't want to hurt him. He's just out here looking for stuff to eat. Hey, it's their area before it was mine, right? I don't want to disturb them if I can avoid it. But he started stretching out across the whole trail. It was like one of those things that like you're gonna into a car accident but you can't stop. That's what I felt like. I was like, no, because I can't drive off into the trees, but I also don't want to hit him. If I knew he was gonna coil up like that, I would have stayed to the left, but oh well. So anyway, I was saying I like how this motorcycle has been taken care of so well. Let's see, my mirror is moving. Yeah, Alexis stayed behind me good. As you can see how much sand's out here. Now there's some pine needles on top of it, which helps, and it did rain earlier today, which is okay, but it is pretty sugary. I'm happy my daughter's doing so good off-road, and this new bike to her. This is like her first real off-road experience with it. Now, if you saw the one video where it was my first ride in the woods with this thing and her first ride off-road with that, she had the stock tires on it. Now I've since changed the front. I put a Trackmaster 2 on the front, which is nice. It's giving her good traction. And then that rear had a rim lock, so I left the Deathwing rear, but we lowered the pressure down to 10 psi. So with her weight, and the bike is not too heavy, with 10 psi, it's probably doing pretty good to mushroom out on this type of trail. That's probably why she's so confident in the sand. A really good front tire is paramount in my opinion. And that's the one thing I have a problem with that D606. The Tusk D Sport. So many tire names. They're sitting on the front of my Rally. It's not awesome anywhere, and but the rear's not too bad. It's not great anywhere either. They're cheap tires, but the advantages of it, it's got a nice hard carcass, and it's gonna last a while on the road. Its knobs are pretty good, though when I get in clay like mud, they cake right up. It's good at climbing dirt hills, stuff like that. I ride it out here. I did the hero section of the last dual sport event I did with it. The front was the major issue. So I think I'm going to go back to something like what I have on this, a Pirelli on the front. If I could give you guys any advice when it comes to purchasing tires, my advice would be to spend the money on the front tire, splurge on the front tire, and you know, if you're going to get something like a D Sport for the rear, do that, because you definitely don't want the front washing out ever. If the rear washes out and gets a little funky, that's fine. You can just put your weight forward and let it fishtail and just guide the bike. But when the front gets out and then you have to dab and you're doing all this nonsense, that's That's not good. That's how you hurt yourself. That's scary. Oh, we gotta stand up for this. The tractor factor here. See how quick I took those whoops? I'm 240 pounds and I just smashed right over those whoops. There's no way the suspension is stock in the front. I would have bottomed this thing out. Like, it just eats it with my weight. See, nothing. No bottoms out. No bottoming out at all. Alright, now I gotta stop having too much fun. Yep, she's still behind me. Alright, we're gonna be taking a different section this time. Really what I'm doing out here today is I'm scouting out some campsites that are in the woods. So out here in this forest, there's camping, and it's like $3 a night to stay. So they do charge you, but when you camp out here, you don't have any running water or anything. They do have outhouses, but some of these sites I've heard that they're only accessible by hiking. Now, not because you're not allowed to go there by car, but just that cars will not be able to make it. So I'm trying to challenge that, and we're gonna go check a couple of these sites out. We're gonna see how they look. One, I was told that you either hike in or kayak in, so we're gonna see about that. If you can hike in, and it was a road at one time, so therefore it's still got road legality, then I can get in there with a bike, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. I'm trying to scout out the middle section to make some final touches on my Trans-New Jersey Trail. So more options for inexpensive camping is always good. And this is some beautiful track here, and you really don't got to worry about anybody coming down it either. The likelihood of somebody coming down here is really rare. As you can see, there's no tire tracks on the pine, and also if they do come down here, they're not going to be hauling ass. So it's not like you're going to get like smashed on a blind turn here. And plus, of course, I'm going first to make sure my daughter has a clear way. She may not have the Senna, but I could stop and throw my hazards on and she could see. But she's doing a good job to keep up with me. In fact, I think, I don't want to say this built confidence, but the fact that her Senna died and we're charging it has made her drive a little more, I'm sorry guys, ride, because people correct me in the comments for that, has made her ride a little more aggressive. Oh, this is going to be sugary. And because I think she's just trying not to lose me. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some standing action on here. And to the people that saw my one video where I had full road PSI on the D Sports, and they said I just don't know how to ride sand, F you, man. I ride sand all the time. I can handle this shit no problem. This is a 366 pound motorcycle, and with my luggage and stuff on it, gas can on the back, and I'm just ripping through this stuff. It's when you have tires that just cut in and direct the motorcycle and bring it to a stop or throw it left and right, that's when you have problems. Oh, we got a little single here. Make sure she knows. Yeah, that's when you have problems. If you let me air down and give me half decent tires, I can handle it, no problem. And I have tons of footage to prove that. Sorry, I'm just waiting for her. And she's out. Yeah, this is a cool track. I just enjoy my bikes too much, guys. That's why I have so many. It's like my one thing in life. I think about my kids and my motorcycles more than anything else. Kids come first, motorcycling comes second, and then, you know, my career and all that stuff. You know, the non-fun stuff. Which my kids are super fun because they're at ages in which I can really enjoy their company. Keep going straight. can see that some of this is tight, but you can still get through this on a Jeep. Oh, look, see? There's a Honda right there. No motor vehicles on that path. That must be a hiking path. Maybe that's why you can't cross this path. Alright, this is the campground. Number 4. Okay guys, that's going to about conclude the video. So what had happened next is, we found the campsite, and as we were leaving the trailhead, there was a sign that said no motorized vehicles, and not on the road in which I entered, but on the road in which I left. So to me, a lot of these campers out here, they're trying to enjoy nature, and there's no reason or no part of me that would want to do something that might disturb them. So what we ended up doing is we rode another 45 minutes through the pines and found another campground that you can basically pull up to with a motor vehicle, off-road vehicle if you had a 4x4, and that's the one we decided that we were going to add into our trip, our Trans-New Jersey Trail that's coming at the end of next month. So that's it, basically. Very anticlimactic, I guess, but no, I think it was still fun because it was a great day of riding, and I got to see, that campground. We found it, so I felt accomplished. Plus, my daughter did really well in this kind of sand throughout the whole day. We rode for like 8 to 9 hours, and she did drop the bike a couple times. One time jumping over a log, she didn't hit it straight, and another time in some really deep sand. So overall, for the first time her going out there, and that's a very tough terrain, I know a lot of people that can't handle it, she did amazing, and I think she's going to have no problems in the future with this motorcycle. It's looking really good for the XT250 for her. So overall, I'm super happy about it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for coming with me if you stayed this long, and let me know in the comments below so I can give you a heart. And you guys are awesome. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys. All right, you go up first.